evening, everybody. Hello. Good evening, everybody. Hello. Hello. Hopefully you guys can hear me well. Make sure the sound is up. You're not first. Yeah, well, hey. Not all of us can be. So good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Thursday night show. I am Potentially Criminal, also known as Sean. If you guys are new and you saw me earlier, I am an attorney in the Cleveland area. I focus on criminal defense topics. But tonight in the Thursday show, we cover kind of all the interesting stuff that's going on this week. And we got a ton of stuff to do. So Rumble's not live. It should be live right now because Rumble's saying it's good to go on StreamYard. So, guys, want to say hello. Thank you for being here. We try to give everybody about 10 minutes or so to filter in. And that's just because YouTube really sucks at notifying everybody. In fact, most of the apps really suck at notifying people. And from what the lovely future Mrs. Martin 2.0 has been able to help determine, it's actually Twitch is the best at notifying you when someone's going live. So it's something to keep in mind if you're wanting to make sure you know what's going on. As sign up for Twitch and you can find me there. And actually, this weekend we might be on Twitch doing playing some Helldivers. I'm gonna figure out how to stream and do some game streaming there. So that should be very interesting. I want to say hello to everybody out there on Facebook, Kick, Rumble, Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. And then last but not least, on Locals. If you guys are new, Locals is basically Patreon without all the bullcrap as far as the administration of it, and they don't care what you say. So over at potentiallycriminal.locals.com, we have our own community over there, just like if this was Patreon. You can join for free. It costs you nothing. If you wish to support me, it's $3 a month. You pay for 10 months, you get 2 months free. The big thing you get with that $3 a month is you get access to the live shows. And we do 2 live shows a week minimum. We do one every Monday night starting at 8 or 8:30. And then we do a live show right after this. And we get to hang out after this stream. We hang out for a while, have some fun. And it's kind of all the stuff we don't talk about here, we don't get to here, or the things that just don't fit in or are proper here. And then also the things YouTube won't allow us to talk about. It's a lot of fun, guys. I highly recommend it. It is a great time. Usually we've been having about 50 or so people in there on Monday nights and also on Thursday nights. It's usually the same crowd. So if you guys enjoy it here in chat, you'll enjoy it over there. And if you use the promo code SWITCHY, like a full auto Glock Switchy, you could get 1 month free. And you get full access to everything. And after that 1 month, there is no obligation. But certainly, I would hope you realize it is worth your hard-earned shekels. It is, I think, a very good value for what it is. And join us over there. So I hope to see you guys there. Let's see here. Clyde ate the mustard. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. How many political candidates returned the money they got from SBF? Quite a few did. Not all of them, but enough did that it was noticeable. So, can we get a tower before he starts? You know, that's the beauty about being here, guys. There are no building permits. You can build the towers as many as you wish. Oh. It doesn't work that way when you guys keep running over each other. Come on now. Late and experienced bondage master. Yes, very true. And then, I guess, then you get to the biggest things here. Who got first? I think it's always important to know. Sleazy first with that. Very, very true. Very fitting. Then over on Rumble, Jacob Castro, first where it counts. Suck it. And over on Kick, nobody's over there. So I guess I'll be lonely over there by myself on Kick. And then is Rumble, because apparently Rumble says it's up for me. Is Rumble, yeah, Rumble's showing live. Rumble is showing live. That's good to see. So hello to everybody over on Rumble. So guys, also I wanted to mention, I mean, because it kind of took me by surprise. This is Holy Week, and that's not. It's that Sunday's Easter. So I hope you guys have a very, very have a happy Easter, and I hope your family. Hope you get to spend time with family and friends. You know, if you are a Christian, yes, Jesus is risen. That's the amazing part of it every time, and I don't say that flippantly. It's always something great to hear. And if you are worshiping Holy Week, I hope the rest of your celebrations tomorrow and Good Friday are well. If you're not, sorry, but it is Holy Week. It is kind of a big deal. And if you're not religious, I hope the Easter Bunny left you a nice Cadbury egg. Yes, have you heard the good news? Very true. You're watching Ghost on Kick. But is Christ Kang? Christ is always Kang. I quit Catholicism because I kneel for no man. You can hunt bunnies with your Glock. That's funny. Wow, we got quite a few people in here already. Everybody's spilling in. This is nice. If everybody gets here soon enough, we might just get started a little bit early. But yes, I hope you guys have had a great week. It's been a little cold this week. Hopefully it gets a little warmer going forward. Let's see here. What else do we have? See. Oh, I know it didn't work. Oh, hold on. Why is this telling me this is not working? And then also over in locals, you guys are saying the LS Eclipse is brutal. Oh yeah, you guys look like you're having fun over there. So I'm hoping you guys are all over there having a great time over on Locals. Forgot to mention, guys, on Locals we do have a live chat that goes while I stream on Thursdays. There are things that Locals get, and it's mainly tied to the Thursday. Sometimes I'll put them up for extra things, but generally it's mainly for the Thursday show. So hold on here, guys. I need to fix one thing. Oh, also, in case anybody's asking, we'll get to it. Diddy has not been arrested. Nobody knows where he's at. Okay, so just calm down. Like, he has not been arrested as far as we know. I don't know what happened to him in the meantime. But we'll get to that shortly, because there's a lot of interesting stuff with Diddy and what's going on with him, because there's a lot of cringe. And when I say a lot, like a lot. So we're going to get started. And I guess we'll get started with Diddy, because that's really kind of the big thing here. As we know, Diddy's house was raided. This is also in the aftermath of the Diddy lawsuit that we covered, where he's engaged in all kinds of weird, creepy sexcapades with men and women, boys and girls, along with the likes of Chris Brown, maybe Drake, and then as far as we learn, other stuff's been leaking out now, like possibly Jay-Z, Prince Harry, the Biebs, a lot of people, like, wow. You know, they weren't joking when R. Kelly went down that this was the tip of the iceberg, because Jesus criminy, there are a lot of dudes out there doing some sketchy stuff. So, yes, KJ, yes, he's probably titty fucking some ass cheeks. And if you guys get that joke, we were watching the Steven Lorenzo death penalty hearings this week, and we read through his 147-page manifesto on why he should get the death penalty. And as his co-defendant says, they were rubbing their cocks between the ass cheeks of the gay men they were abducting and raping. And they called it titty fucking the ass cheeks. So, do you think they'll try to cover this up like Epstein? I don't know if they're going to be able to cover this up. I don't know how you cover this up at this point. So, yes, Diddy has had some bad times. Now, I will give Diddy credit for staging the collision with the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore. that took the public's eye off him for a day or two. But this is, yeah, it didn't work too well, Diddy. It didn't work too well. So let's go here. There's some, yes, baller move, yes, and baller more than one way. So let's start off with what happened to Diddy. So Diddy's house got raided earlier this week. His house in Florida got raided, and his palatial mansion out in LA.
Of a few people coming out of the homes.
And he was raided by Homeland Security, Department of Homeland Security Investigations Division. And that is a separate arm of the Department of Homeland Security that does their own investigations. If you guys have seen The Sound of Freedom, the guy who plays in that, Jim Caviezel, plays the role of, that's called HSI, Homeland Security Investigations. They do a lot of human trafficking stuff. That's kind of like one of their big things. They do a lot of stuff involving stuff crossing the border. You think, well, you know, the Border Patrol, Customs, and ICE would be doing that. They do, but HSI does their own thing, and there is footage of these guys showing up, and they showed up with some fury. So here we go.
Holmes, the rapper and music executive, perhaps being linked to a sex trafficking investigation.
He got some shots of a few people coming out of the home. Those people have been detained. Now, we're trying to still connect the dots. We do have some sources.
Now, I will just say, guys, I brought this up when we watched this on Monday. This is Diddy's house. Look at all these fucking garbage. How many fucking garbage cans this man need? Good God, like, look at that. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Those are just the garbage cans, not even the recycling cans. Like, how do you need that many goddamn garbage cans? I mean, how many hookers are you cutting up and murdering on a weekly basis? You need that many garbage cans, sir.
Seen here that we're getting this information.
So there you go. This is HSI, and look, they're coming in fast and hard.
We were actually the first ones here with about 30 different law enforcement vehicles at least. There are 3 Bearcats on scene here. This just all unfolded, Sandra, I would say, less than 10 minutes ago. We got here even before the crime scene tape came up. So we're just down the hill. If you look up this street where Tony is right now.
So, and also, guys, there are some pictures, apparently paparazzi pictures of more and more people got put into this little spot here in the trees. Both of Diddy's kids were cuffed and arrested. We don't know what happened to them afterwards because there haven't really been any statements from everybody. But they were caught up in that raid in LA. There was a similar raid down in Florida. They basically assaulted his house from the water because that mansion's on the water down in Miami. So they showed up and did their thing.
Down to the right, you'll see one of those Bearcats and law enforcement. And on the other side of those bushes, basically, is that home that is registered to Bad Boy Films, which is part of Bad Boy Entertainment. And the home, in particular, is registered not only to Bad Boy Films, but to one of P. Diddy's daughters.
They are heavily armed, and they've been very tactful, would probably be the best word to use.
I love that. They're tactful.
As they made entry into this home this afternoon. We actually watched them as they made their way through one of these side gates, and as soon as they got inside.
I mean, think about that, though. Look how big that house is. You could hide in there. So that happened. There is, and this I thought was interesting. This is apparently from years ago. This is a clip of 50 Cent talking about Diddy, and this is like 20 years ago. I mean, this is old, but this is very, very interesting. Guys, this is very interesting. So, here we go. Yes, they did great except for making sure Diddy was home. Yeah, it's very true. Very, very true. They brought a Bearcat. Well, I mean, it's their vehicle. They drive around in when they're doing the raids, and it's armored up enough to handle things. So, I wonder what they found in the dungeons. I don't know. Yes, it's also weird they didn't hit Jay-Z at the same time because there is evidence Jay-Z's kind of implicated in all this too. You know, they have relationships with women, but sex with men. I got news for you. That makes it gay. So, This is what Jimmy Kimmel was afraid of. Oh, I bet it was. I bet it was. So this is very interesting. This, like I said, guys, this is a very interesting thing here. We're going to listen to this. I'm sorry there's all this crap is on the screen, but just listen to 50 Cent talk about all this. He's talking about Diddy.
The nigga Puff was like, yeah, like first he was amping him to get style. Then he was like, yo, so when we gonna get the chance to, to kick it, like we could just hang out, nigga. We gotta kick it. This is Puff. Okay. He telling me we gotta kick it and shit. And he was like, yo.
This is back when he was called Puff Daddy, so that's why they call him Puff. If any of you millennials or Zoomers are out there, he was called Puff Daddy before he was P. Diddy.
Why don't we like go shopping or some shit? I mean, like I pay for it. And I was like, what the fuck this nigga just said? I got the fuck away from him because I was like, this nigga like the fucking. This nigga just tell me he take me shopping. And this is shit that goes on. So this is a little fruit pop. It's a fruit pop. It's a fruit pop. Trust me. You see these little weird ass pictures and shit like that out there. I'm just sitting out there for no reason. You don't see accident pictures of me like kissing niggas. Like that doesn't happen by accident. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Look, later you gonna find out a little shit that I be saying. Do you understand what I'm saying? Man, listen. I'm trying to tell you the truth. But the truth sometimes it hurts. Right. It hurts people and they don't want to hear that shit. But I'm trying to tell you, nigga asked me could he take me shopping, and it fucked me up because I'm looking like, what the fuck did this nigga just say? I want to take you shopping. I got a bankroll out this motherfucker. I want to take you shopping. Why? Because when you walk around looking so motherfucking good, I'm gonna feel like, God damn it, that motherfucker with me. That's all I want to do. That's all I want to do. But when a nigga tell me he want to take me shopping, what the fuck is the matter with this nigga?
Hold on. Well, where was this at?
This was at the wedding.
Right after the wedding. I'm beefing with Steve Stout, and Puff is telling you you're going to take you shopping.
After the show's over. Swear to God.
Everybody going to want to be at Chris Lady's wedding right now. Everybody going to be like, yo, I was there. What?
And I'm bugging because look, while they was sitting there at the wedding, like I'm like this, look, because they both stayed here.
Right.
Both Stout and Puff.
Okay, yes,
They fucked the Veronica, the girl that Chris was married.
Whoa, this is awkward. We did not know that.
So I'm sitting there like, what the fuck kind of shit we got going on?
Oh, man.
Like, goddamn. Like, you must have my own little...
I guess our angel alert shit.
So, yeah, just a little bit interesting there. Just a little bit. And then this is a bit more down the road here. Going back to P. Diddy's protege, Justin Bieber. And this is a 40-year-old Diddy, hanging out with a 15-year-old. And looking back in hindsight, this really sounds creepy now.
Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. I have been given custody of him. He signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go buck full crazy.
I'm going crazy.
I bet they did go crazy.
Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours?
So.
His first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go buck full crazy.
Yeah, just buck full crazy. I'm sure there was a lot of craziness there. Am I going down the road till we hit that Meek Mill's recording? No, we're staying away from that. So, what happened to Diddy? We don't know. We don't know where Diddy's at technically. Where is Bieber right now? I don't know. So Diddy, allegedly, people thought he was flying to Antigua because his plane flew to Antigua and it stopped. That wasn't the case anymore. Although, let's see. Let's see where his plane is right now, because we haven't checked in a second. Because we were checking on Monday, because the airplane flew from L.A. all the way to, flew all the way from L.A. to Antigua nonstop. So the airplane is, where is it? Let's see if we can find it, because he has a Gulfstream, and it looks like it's, flight activity, the past couple of days, no flights have been found. So it looks like, guys, what we do have for his flight tracker is the plane flew, if you guys weren't aware, he flew from the 25th. He then flew on to, he had multiple legs of things. So the next leg, he flew from LA all the way to Antigua. And it landed and nothing else happened. Obviously, he wasn't on the plane. It's not clear where he was, what happened from there. But you go for the next couple of days, the plane's just hanging out. And then on the 27th, it flies all the way back to Miami. And guess who's in Miami? Well, that's where Diddy has a house. And then from there, it doesn't fly again. And it doesn't fly again until today, so the 28th. So we don't know where he's at. It's not clear. He has not been arrested. Nobody's officially been arrested or booked on any of this stuff. But that is also, by the way, he has a Gulfstream 550. So he's got a range of about 7,700 miles with this bad boy. So he can get a lot of places if he really wanted to. This is Diddy's plane here. November 1969er Charlie. It's a Gulfstream 550. Could pretty much go anywhere he needs to go. But he has not left. He has not made his way to a non-extradition country or anything like that. Diddy did it, though, yes. Yes, he did. G5s are nice, yes, they are. It's a very tastefully tactic, yes. Look at Puffy's cheeks, that's why they called him Puffy, yeah. Yes. Diddy talked to the feds on the tarmac in Miami. I've heard that as well. But there's nobody was arrested so far. Or, nobody's sitting in jail. Looper's saying Drake. Yeah, Drake is involved in all this. When R. Kelly was going down, I received a couple of emails from people, from a guy who does a YouTube channel, does some hip-hop stuff. And he said, because he'd watched my thing, and he said, just so you know, there's a lot of rumblings that Drake is involved in a lot of crap, too. Not sure if that's true or not, but I don't know. We'll find out. So it could be. So, moving on from those Diddy's drug mule was arrested. Yes. His drug mule, some dopey-looking white guy got arrested, yes. But not Diddy. But moving on from those red flags that Bieber's parents didn't really notice or care about, we'll move on to red flags that the DOJ is getting involved with. And those red flags are through the DOJ's Office of Public Affairs. They are launching the National Extreme Risk Protection Order Resource Center. Now, what does that actually mean? Well, it's not good. It's not good. Really, I think this is bad. This is really bad. So, they are launching the National Extreme Risk Protection Order Center, ERPO. Listening to the DOJ talk about things does make me rather irpy. It'll provide training and technical assistance to law enforcement officials, prosecutors, attorneys, judges, clinicians, victim service and social service providers, meaning advocates, social workers, community organizers, and behavioral health professionals responsible for implementing laws designed to keep guns out of the hands of people who throws a threat to themselves or others. So basically, they're teaching people how to fuck you over. They're going to teach police, here's how you file a red flag thing. We're going to teach prosecutors, here's how you do it. Can teach attorneys and judges. You know, the DOJ is teaching judges. That shouldn't be the case. That's yet the prosecution teaching judges. Don't like that. Clinicians and social workers. Fuck all of that. Red flag laws are unconstitutional as shit and will be used as a weapon. They aren't going to be used to save lives. They're only being used as weapons. And they are used to harass and retaliate against people. And I think that they are highly, highly unconstitutional for what they offer. So, sorry, somebody just sent me something goofy. Let's see here. Oh, what are you guys looking at? You guys are the rumblings. Okay, you guys are, Rumble's working. And then over in Kick, it's working. Sorry, just making sure it works. All right. So, the launch of this center will provide our partners across the country valuable resources to keep firearms out of the hands of an individual who pose a threat to themselves or others, said Attorney General Merrick B. Garland. Yes, the brave Merrick. This establishment of the center is the latest example of the Justice Department's work to use every tool provided by the landmark Bipartisan Safer Communities Act to infringe upon communities and their Second Amendment rights. You know, ERPO laws, which are modeled off domestic violence protection orders, create a civil process. Yeah, it's so fair. Allowing law enforcement, family members in some states, and medical professionals or other groups to petition a court temporarily to prohibit someone at risk of harming themselves or others from purchasing or possessing firearms for the duration of that order. Yes. Without a hearing. It's granted ex parte, and you don't have the chance to respond. And then when you show up, if you come in screaming, these guys are fucking assholes, well, now you're the crazy man. And instead, if you come in and say, hey, look, I don't have a problem, this is nonsense, they're going to look at you and say, well, you must be crazy because you're acting really chill. Dangerous. So there was $230 million awarded to this. Why couldn't they, teach like fucking transgender lobsters how to read or something? I'd rather them do that. It was designed to help jurisdictions implement crisis intervention strategies. In addition, they awarded $4 million to, under the Burn SCIP, including $2 million to lower the Johns Hopkins Center for Gun Violence Solutions. Yes, because doctors doing that is going to be making a total ton of sense. Supporting our law enforcement and community partners and curbing the scourge of gun violence is more critical than ever. Yes, says the DOJ as they enter consent orders of many, many police departments, prosecute cops, and assume most of people are racist. Oh, and David from Making Law Simple is in chat. How you doing, David? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're airing out of your concerns with the hails went well. So, that is what this is going to turn into here. So, the scourge of gun violence. Yeah, I guess there's a scourge of government scumbaggery. I mean, sure of that. I'm sure of that. So this center will help provide communities with new tools and technical assistance to help them implement effective crisis intervention strategies, reduce gun violence. This isn't going to reduce gun violence. They ain't using this in the hood, guys. They're going to be using this in the suburbs and out in the boonies. So, this crisis cannot be solved at one level of government. You're right. It can't be solved. It's not the government's job. We must use all of our resources and collaborate. I hate it when they use that word collaborating. You know who collaborated? People working with the Nazis. I hate that word collaborate. But we want the state, federal, and local levels to find innovative, evidence-based. You're not going to find evidence about gun control, honey. I have evidence for you. Starts with a 13. It's a fraction. 13 over 60. You can figure it out from there. And holistic solutions to keep American communities safe. Oh. So they point out, as of this month, 21 states and D.C. have enacted ERPO laws. Successful and effective ERPO implementation requires a comprehensive and holistic approach that incorporates a wide range of stakeholders. This is like fucking corporate project planning right there. We got all kinds of stakeholders, guys. We got to have synergy between them. I mean, this is the government acting like it's like corporate guru shit. I mean, I don't know if that's what scares me more, that or just the government acting like the government. They talk about the newly launched website. Well, let's see what this website... I didn't actually click on the website. Let's see what it says. How to take away someone's guns. It's a tool to save lives. A tool to save lives? Question mark. A resource for implementers. A resource for communists. That's who fits in there better. Read more about us. Oh, I'm going to read more about you guys right now. So here we go. So, also, Bloomberg. I mean, you could... The Bloomberg School of Public Health. I'm sure you guys know which Bloomberg that is. Not a surprise. So... This is just talking about what the training they're going to do and how they're going to help people protect others. Just look at these. Look at these people. Yes. Yes, these rat-faced scumbags are the ones coming for your guns. Yes, these people. I'm sure he enjoys watching other men pleasure his wife. But yes, these women right here, just yes, the assistant policy advisor. What makes her a policy advisor on gun violence? I'm curious to know. They don't have obviously you can't click on and see what's their education like? What's their training? So let's see, state by state. If you guys didn't know your state, we could find out what happens. But let's go to where I live. And look, Ohio's not on the list. Based. One more reason, guys. You know what, though? I lied. Don't come to Ohio. Nobody likes to be here. Don't come here. Stay away from Ohio. And see, I guess we conquered Pennsylvania a little bit there, too. But yeah, no red flag laws here. But if you guys didn't know, your states have them. Here's the list of states that have them. So, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, District of Columbia, Florida, Hawaii, Illinois, Indiana, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota. It's almost like in a song where you sing them all in order. They kind of got some of these in the right spots. Nevada, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, Oregon, Origami, Rhode Island, Rhode Island, Vermont, Virginia, and Washington. So, yeah, not every state, but they are very helpful in that regard to help you figure out what you guys have there. Hold on. It's something from my producer. Hold on, what's that? What's that? Yes. Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you for the lovely producer here. I'm going to take a look at this real quick. Make sure it's appropriate for all ages. Let's see here. What do we got? Okay, I think, well, I don't know if the sound's going to come through, but Brandon, your wish has been provided. You're wondering about Clyde. So I know, Brandon says, what did you do to Clyde, you pervert? Well, I do have some updates on Clyde's whereabouts right now. And I don't know if this is going to come across, but we're going to try it. Let's see here. Downloads. And Clyde is unavailable tonight, guys. He is snoring and sawing logs right now, so I don't know if you guys can hear that. But he is, I don't know, and that's the problem with StreamYard. It's not letting you guys hear it. But he's out, so Clyde's out of the fight tonight, guys. So don't, yeah, there's nothing, Clyde is not coming on tonight. He is, he's sawing logs. Yes, big snores indeed. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he does. He snores really loud. I've woken up in the middle of the night before, and I hear snoring, and I'm like, who the fuck is that? And I look down, and he's just, like, laying on top of you, and he's just... I'm like, oh, okay. So. All right. Real quick, guys, we got a couple of, couple things we can catch up on real quick. Toxia says, any news if Rekieta is going to be indicted in relation to P. Diddy? No, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, really, you know, trafficking and cringe nationwide. I mean, that is a pretty serious offense. KJ says, get him some nice lingerie. Yes. Stephen Cooper says, sent you a meme on Twitter. Well, thank you for the super chat. Let me see what you got here. Sent me a meme on Twitter. Oh, this is good. This is very good. Well, I don't know if this will let us zoom in all the way. Yeah. Oh, no, this is perfect. So, yes, this is the Shawshank Redemption, starring Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein. P. Diddy. Riley Reid. Oh, fuck, you're going to make me come. And directed by Dan Schneider, the wonderful, creepy-looking pedophile guy who was behind all of the talent at Nickelodeon. And the soundtrack by R. Kelly. It's a Harvey Weinstein film. I mean, that'll be the feel-good hit of the summer. It'll feel good in more than one way. So very good, Steven. I love that. That is hilarious. T Kings for $2 saying Puff wanted 50 to take that. Take that. Take that. Take that. Yes. And Walter Malone for $5 says $290 is Nick's price to strip down undies and act sussy with a man. Weddings are expensive, Sean. What's your dollar amount? My dollar amount is there is no dollar amount. So I'm just saying. Michelle says they couldn't take our guns through the court, so they're trying this route. Yes, very true. Very, very true. Devel says the list never goes away. Yeah, these lists never go away. And Steven for $5 more, thank you, Steven, says, good old Ohio, the state of James Midgley Jr. and Wayne Wheeler. Yes, yes. Sometimes we mess up, but overall Ohio's pretty good about sending people out into the world. Every once in a while, we kind of, yeah, a little bit of an oopsie there. I am not for sale confirmed, yes. I owe Nick an apology by 11 p.m. Do I need an extension on the time? Well, actually, Lady Rackets, what I'm going to do is I'm going to file for a stay. I'm going to ask for a 90-day stay, and then I'm not going to do anything and assume it gets granted. So, no, I'm not going to do anything. And yes, if Jay-Z is involved, job well done. You are 100% right. Nas fucking won. Nas won at life. And I remember being a kid back in the 2000s, and I'm like, oh my God, Jay-Z's fucking smashing him. But now it turns into, I guess he got the last laugh. So, yeah, good for him. Good for him. Good for him. That hesitation made you nervous. Well, I was trying to figure out a way to say it and be tactful. Trying to say tactful. Yes, Greer did that tactically. I know. That's why I did that. Is Nas still alive? Yeah, I think so. Nas was better the whole time. I mean, yeah, like Illmatic and all that shit was great. But, I mean, Jay-Z wasn't bullshitting when he, said your first was Now, your other was Illmatic. That's a one hot album every 10-year out average. Nigga, that's so lame. I mean, that is true. That is true. I mean, but Nas put out quality versus quantity. The next lawsuit will be Nas. Maybe. Makes me feel old saying he was a kid in the 2000s. I got my driver's license in 2001. Yes, after I had gone through the first time through and ran the stop sign in the parking lot of the DMV on my road test on the way back in. So like I had done the whole thing. And it's like I ran the stop sign to get into the parking lot of the DMV. And we went right through it. And she's like, you just ran a stop sign. I'm like, where? And it was a weird setup. And it's like dropping the baton with like 5 feet to go on the 100-yard dash. You're like, it was mine to lose, chat. And I remember going in there and telling my dad, I'm like, they said I missed a stop sign. And my dad's like, well, where is it? And the lady said right there. And my dad's like, I drove him here and I didn't even see it. Which I guess it's good there wasn't a cop there because he could get a ticket written for running a stop sign. But yeah, came back the next week and passed it. So, but yes, August of 2001 was a great time. At least August of 2001 was a great month. September, lad, was not the best. Jonathan Doiger for $19.99. Thank you, Jonathan, for that super chat. I appreciate it. Not going to do the whoa thing tonight, but thank you very much. It's saying, if I send you a police incident, would you be willing to review it? I mean, like, you mean like body cam and stuff? Sure. I mean, if it's something we could watch. Would you be willing to review it? It happened a few months ago, like an hour from my house down in Alabama. Sure. Could take a look at it. Yes, this butthole is not for turning. Diddy's got the gayness for Jay-Z's anus. And I guess, there's all these allegations that, they're all gay, but it's just, I guess I'll say it.
Got they licking their pencils right now, trying to write fierce as they can. Get every word of this here. Get every word of this.
Yes, apparently there's a lot of gayness in the rap game. At what age could you get a license in Ohio? 16. And I got it right away. Russell Town says that stop sign at the DMV is set up weird on purpose. I think you know which one I'm talking. Do you know which one I'm talking about? Because if you do, that's fucking hilarious. Fuck says what happened in September was awesome. I suppose I didn't never forget. Oh. Boat fuel does not melt steel beams. You're right, it does not. But it sure as shit knocks them over. It sure as shit knocks them over. Tia is saying, so is Eazy-E ahead of the game? Yeah, you know, in hindsight, when you think about it like that, yeah. Eazy-E truly was like a rap pathfinder. He was on the Oregon Trail. You know, he was out there trailblazing men's assholes. On the Oregon Trail of dicks. You know, traveling along. Very, 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 very interesting. Very, very observant point. I give you a gold star for that one. So, yes, what's a driver's license? Yeah, it's that thing you write on cardboard that says you could do whatever you want. Nate Dogg had the AIDS too? What? Hold on here. No, he didn't. Nate Dogg did not. He did not have AIDS. Let's see here. Yeah, that's what I thought. Nate Dogg had a fucking stroke, man. Yeah, he had a stroke. And that's what killed him. Because he had a lot of problems after that. Don't go out there and tell me Nate Dogg got the high five. Nate Dogg ain't out there on the down low. Eazy-E was the Black Freddie Mercury. Jeez. Jonathan says for $1.99 cent locals. Thanks. I'll take a look at it, Jonathan. So thank you. Love the way you mangle Oregon every time. You say, well, you know what? There's the city across the river from Toledo, and it's called Oregon. Okay? Did he have an AIDS-related stroke? No, he did not. Nate had to regulate his T-cell count. Yes. His T-cells were unable to regulate. Oh, that sucks, because I like Nate Dogg. Nate Dogg wasn't a bad guy. I don't think you can put Nate Dogg in there. Nate Dogg died like in 2011, man. He died a while ago. Died like 15 years ago now. At least I don't wash my clothes. I don't use a washing machine. I had a teacher who used to say that, washing stuff. Yes, he had many blood clots, and that was before the COVID shot was around. Sean has stroke-related AIDS. Yeah. Tupac was a theater brat. Yeah, well. All right, guys, moving on. There is a interesting update in the Kansas City parade shooting. And that comes from here. And that, my dad's from Missouri. He puts an unnecessary R in words. Well, yeah. So here we go. So this guy here was somebody who was arrested initially and detained, but then was later released. And he's suing a congressman over false posts that were made in the aftermath of the Chiefs' victory party shooting. So his name's Denton Loudermill, and he was misidentified as a suspect in the shooting. So he is getting ready to sue U.S. Congressman Tim Burchett, and he is claiming that last month he shared a photo of him and it erroneously wrote that one of the Kansas City shooters had been identified as an illegal alien. He's claiming that post caused him to receive death threats and incur damages totaling more than $75,000, which is ironically what you need to get to federal court. So there is a Now, it's a claim of false light. And a false light claim is different than a defamation claim. So no, this is not a defamation suit. It's not about defamation. Just like PewDiePie says, that's still not defamation. A false light claim has to be made to a large group of people. And that was the claim that this guy was an illegal alien. It's like, oh no, he said you were an illegal. Like, I mean, oh well. Now, is this going to go anywhere? So they're hoping that they can obtain full redress for the damages he suffered. Okay, well. And this is after his the post from Burchett sparked a social media outrage over this, that it killed one lady and they injured more than 20 people. We talked about this last, I think 2 weeks ago. Some of these guys are actually going to be using self-defense arguments to stand your ground. Quite a few of them, which would be hilarious if all these guys get acquitted and nobody gets held accountable. You know, the guy's upset, though. He put my name through the mud. Now, this is very interesting. This is the part I read earlier, and I thought it was very, very interesting. He said police detained him because he wasn't leaving the area of the shooting quick enough. He wasn't leaving quick enough, which means he was fucking hanging around and dicking around on the scene. I guarantee he was also talking shit to the police. So you start fucking around out there, then you get mad when someone says, oh, they think you're one of the shooters? Like, come on now. Guy's got his tampon getting all soggy. And they're saying a bunch of other Missouri lawmakers have also done this and refused to apologize. They're saying, we've done nothing wrong. You know, and what that brings me to is very much the situation that happened with Nicholas Sandmann and the Covington kids. And remember, everybody talks shit about them, including multiple people, including many congresspersons. And what's this going to lead to? Well, I think ultimately they're going to lead to the Westfall Act being invoked. It's the same thing that Nancy Pelosi and everybody else used in the Covington kid situation. The Westfall Act protects them, and it's going to have to be applied equally. Now, could I see this being applied in a way that's a shame, take it off? Good night. But congratulations again on scoring a big win for your client. Good job out there this week. So, I think there's going to be, the Westfall Act will protect him, but I could see, depending on what kind of shit judge he gets, lawfare being engaged. Where some judge says, finally, it doesn't apply anymore, and except it's only not going to apply to, Republicans. But we'll see what happens. Based on the way things currently are, though, the Westfall Act should protect him, but like I said, we'll have to see. PewDiePie also says Bish lasagna. Yes, Panzer Dude says, yes, ladies and gentlemen, Joshua Connor Moon was sadly killed at a theater in the Moscow Oblast this weekend. Mr. Moon was at the Crocus City Hall. And his last words, apparently, as the ISIS terrorist began to shoot in his direction, was, Sneed, you Arab motherfuckers. Sneed. Well, Sneed indeed, good prince. I'm just kidding, he's alive. So, yes, he won't get that legislation immunity because he's a Republican. Not at the local level, but I think the Court of Appeals will take care of him. So, Anonymous says, Anonymous for $5 says, off topic but still curious, any idea if Jersh is alive? Yes, he's fine. He's posting on the forums. Go into the Greer thread. He's posting in there quite a bit, and he's also posting in the Stebbins thread. And also, guys, we're going to move right into that. So, yes, we covered this last week at the end of the week. The case of Russell Greer versus Kiwi Farms and Null has been transferred to the Northern District of Florida. Russell Greer fucked up responding. So the venue's been transferred, and he's losing his mind and drooling everywhere in panic. In addition to that, David Stebbins, the biggest retard in the state of Arkansas, like literally, he's a violent, malicious retard with schizophrenic issues, has attempted to sue Null and the Farms over a video that got placed up on there using the same bullshit theory that Greer got out of the 10th Circuit, the idea of, contributory copyright infringement. Stabby's going to lose that, and I'm going to go over that, and I'm probably going to, introduce some of the things that are in there, and just, I have a feeling he'll try to sue me too, and, whatever. Like, we'll have a little Spurg fight. Let's do it. But unlike Russell Greer, Acer Thorne has actually, David Stebbins, also known as Acer Thorne, has actually been labeled as a vexatious litigant in 2 separate federal districts. So it's going to make it a lot easier for that to happen to him going forward. But for right now, he is evading detection by suing Null out in the District of West Virginia. So that is the update about the Farms. I know some people were wondering about that, so I wanted to make sure you guys were aware. Excuse me. Yes, your boy Stabby. Not our Stabby. David Stebbins, Acer Thorne, had stabbed his father at one point too, and then tried to sue him. Yes, a guy so spastic, Walmart couldn't even employ him. That says a lot. You must be a real spaz. Yeah, sue us harder, Daddy. Daddy. What happened with Set Alpha? That case has turned into a dumpster fire. He's on the fast track to becoming a vexatious litigant. I think that has already happened. The problem is he's got so many cases in the Northern District of California. That's one of the ones Google ended up taking over, I think. I got to go back through and reread it because it's hard to keep up. It is hard to keep up. Where is he suing in West Virginia? I don't know. I think the courthouse is in Charleston. I don't know. You're going to have to look that up on Pacer. I'm not sure. I don't think he's suing in Wheeling. I know they have a courthouse. It's a very nice looking courthouse. So, what are you guys looking at here? Jim Harris is saying the police were not there to collect evidence at Diddy's house. They were there to collect evidence to protect the elites, not charge Diddy. We'll never see what they found. Could be. We'll find out. We will find out. So, hi, Hella. How are you doing? Guys, Hella over at Excited Utterance does Hearsay for Days, Sundays at 4, among other things. And speaking of that, one of her big segments she used to do was the Becky emails from Becky Hill. God, I'm doing these fucking segues. Like, they're just working. Becky Hill, the dumb fuck clerk of court in the Alex Murdaugh case. Well, Becky Hill has resigned. If you guys remember her, Becky Hill was the woman in charge of the nonsense surrounding the Alex Murdaugh case. She was the clerk of courts for Colton County. And, look at her. She was at that big hearing they had where she was questioned. And like a complete dumbass, she didn't realize, or was too stupid to realize, how big of a fucking idiot she looked like in front of the world. So I remember watching that, and I think I commented once or twice on it. She's just like, yep, I did it. I talked to jurors. I did all kinds of fucked up stuff. And then I don't think she realized, everybody thought she was a fucking idiot. And she is. And Becky, I hope you hear this. You are dumber than a fucking doornail. So Becky ended up resigning this week. So she announced her resignation on Monday at a news conference. I tried to find a copy of that, but I couldn't find the actual clip of her resigning. I'm not sure why she had to resign in front of everybody, but because she's me. She's a narcissist. She likes a spotlight on her. And she acknowledged she was resigning. I'm sure it has nothing to do with the fact her son caught a felony charge, and she's now being investigated as well for numerous crimes. That has nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with her book and all the other unsavory shit she did to fuck with Alex Murdaugh's trial. But yeah, she had a $101,000 a year job. But she then had to go, and as she said, when she made her book, she's like, we only made $100,000. It wasn't a big deal. Which blew my mind. She's like, yeah, it's no big deal. Like, for somebody like Becky who'd never flown on an airplane before and probably lived her whole life in Hee-Hawville, she didn't think there was a big problem there. So good for her, I guess. So it's been my honor to serve you as your clerk of court. I'm sure the people in that county are thrilled that you are such a dumbass bumpkin that you became the face of this county. The trial ultimately saw her mired in controversy. That's one way of putting it, including allegations of jury tampering, investigations by state ethics and law enforcement agencies, as well as the admission she plagiarized sections of her memoir. Yeah, that's getting mired in controversy. Yeah, that's all that was. Just getting mired, guys. She's like, help, I'm miring. I can't stop, the perpetual miring. The 50-year-old mirer. I can't stop cooming. Mires everything, causes a scandal everywhere she goes. The international media has caused me to reflect on my decisions involving my stay of office for the clerk of court. Yeah, it has nothing to do with the fact you got investigated and everybody thinks you're a fucking idiot. I've decided it's best not to run again for re-election. I will now be able to focus on being a wife, a mother, and a grandmother to my 2 grandboys. Why do you call them grandsons? And will be spending time with the people who mean the most to me. Oh my God, she would be a horrible grandma, I bet. So her resignation letter was delivered to the governor. Because she is an elected office, the governor will have to appoint somebody to fill her seat. So who knows what's going to happen. The governor will appoint somebody. But for now, yes, the brilliant Becky is out of the spotlight for now, but I'm sure she'll jump right back in as she decides is the right time to do so. Is perpetual miring is similar to perpetual sneeding? Yes. Sneeding and malding, yes. It's all a matter of perspective, I guess. Reformed Convict says, I used to bang a Becky in high school. Boy, did she have some firehead fingered. And her sister at the same time in a hot tub back in the day. I was afraid they were going to grab hands playing with the old Grover. They're going to treat it like a baseball bat, trying to get to see who gets to pick first. Shragnatcher says 100K for where she lives is a lot. Yeah, 100K is going to be, for most places in America, that's going to be a lot. Oh, you sent me a video of her resigning. Okay. Well, if Discord loads, I'll take a look at it. Oh, okay, we do have her resigning. We can listen to her. We're not listening to all 7 minutes of it, guys, but it is worth listening to. Just listen to this dumb bitch. Listen to this bitch. So, so here we go. So this is her attorney talking. We don't really need to hear it. So here's Becky talking.
Good morning, everyone. It has been my honor and pleasure to serve as your Colleton County Clerk of Court over these past 4 years. The clerk's office has provided many services to the citizens of Colleton County. The Colleton County Clerk's Office is proud of our services and the significant impacts we have made in the history of South Carolina.
Yeah, you have made significant impacts in the history of South Carolina. You fucked with one of the biggest murder trials in the history of the state. You definitely put your impact on the state there, honey. But hey, you got to fly on a big metal fancy airplane. You know, guys, remember Becky got to fly on the big metal bird, y'all. She got to go to New York City, see them skyscrapers, and meet all them fancy TV people. She even saw a bunch of colored folk. Bunch of colored folk being in charge. She's like, I just don't get it. I just don't understand how these colored folk run loose like that.
Here at the Colleton County Courthouse, you will find a full-service passport office with certified agents ready to help you, as well as notary services and e-filing that has streamlined our civil processes. Another significant impact in our clerk's office was in 2023 when we had to manage one of the biggest trials in South Carolina history. Our small town came together and made everyone proud.
Did you make everyone proud? Becky, did you make everyone proud? Because I'm hoping part of this gets overturned just so people get mad at you and they find you in the streets and scream at you and chase you with baseball bats out of their town for what you've done and what you ruined and made a farce of. Just saying, just saying.
A trial with such importance to the people of South Carolina, as well as of the national and international media, interest and public scrutiny, and has caused me to reflect upon decisions involving my stay in the office of the Clerk of Court. And so after much reflection, I have decided that it is best not to run again for re-election. I will now be able to focus on being a wife, a mother, and grandmother to my 2 grandboys, and will be spending time with the people who mean the most to me. With the upcoming election, I wanted to...
Wait, is she chewing gum too while she's doing this? Or is that just her tongue, like, flailing around? Because I wasn't sure. It looked like she was chewing for a second. And I'm like, wow, how much more, like, uncouth can you be?
Sure that I provided ample time for...
Oh, it looks like she's got gum the way she's, like... Unless she's got, like, a big chaw in there. I mean, I could see her doing that. Or she's got a, you know... What the fuck was that? You guys notice that? It looks like she's got gum or something in her mouth.
With the upcoming election, I wanted to ensure that I provided ample time for other Republican candidates.
She fucking has gum in her mouth. You fucking dumb fuck.
May be interested in pursuing this position. I want to publicly thank all of the citizens of Colleton County who voted for me, who have supported me, and who have stood by me. I also want to take just a moment to extend heartfelt condolences to the family and friends of a very, very kind, professional educator here in Colleton County who has departed this life and gone on to the other life that's active.
So she says I did my resignation effective immediately. And yeah, she's chewing her cud like a cow. Doing the red tie is a Max cringe expression. Yeah, he's like, well, he's probably sitting there thinking, he's like, fuck, this is eating into my lunch break. I wanted to go home and play Helldivers. I don't know, but he's just like, fuck, why do I have to stand here? Well, it's because he's part of the clerk's office, so he's like, fuck, I gotta stand here. Yeah, nature's gum. She could have dentures. I don't think she's got dentures. It looks like she's missing a couple teeth in the top. Yeah, she got her boy indicted for wiretapping, Mother of the Year. Yep. The tone's inappropriate for his resignation and shame, yes. Now, it's very interesting when the Jack Murphy beard in the back, yeah. But it's very funny what her attorney says right after this ends here. So I just wanted to just get to this part. We'll move on, guys.
Immediately. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Now, this is her attorney. This attorney is actually a pretty good guy. He's represented, like, people involved in this case. He's actually well known. I think it's Justin Bamberg. Actually pretty good. Seems like a pretty good attorney. He's not a shitty one like Eric Bland. And just like our boy Dick Poon, he's a member of the South Carolina legislature.
I do have in my hand a signed copy of Ms. Hill's official resignation. That will be forwarded to the governor's office, Governor Henry McMaster's office later today. I've served in the South Carolina State House for over a decade now. When we run as elected officials in this state, we run publicly. Our lives become public. We serve publicly. And it's only fitting, and I respect Ms. Hill very much, that the conclusion...
That's because she's paying you.
...conclusion of her service also happens publicly.
Being hauled out and convicted would be... That's going to be a public setting, too. Getting embarrassed in front of the world at a guy's hearing for a new trial, that was public. You didn't have to do this, Becky. You didn't have to do this.
I'll be taking a couple of questions, but I do want to say one thing, because I know that there are speculation and rumors. Having lived in small town South Carolina my entire life, I can see where people's minds may run after an announcement such as this. So let me be extremely clear. Today is not in response whatsoever to anything going on with any investigation or anything of that nature. Okay, and I'm going to say that one more time. Today is not in response to any new development of some investigation or anything like that. Today is...
So what happened? That's not a good sign. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Becky. That's not good, man. That's not good. Yeah, so if it's what happened in this investigation, you're now alluding to. What happened? Something must have happened. Sounds like somebody talked or they found some more information. So, thank you for telling everybody something happened here. That's a great job there. You know, you don't do that. You just ignore their questions. But you don't fucking do that. You don't fucking tell everybody. So, yeah, Luke, thank you for sending that in. But yeah, that is not a... that was not a smart way of handling it. I'm just saying. And then over on Doig sent me the Doig sent me a $1 tip over on Locals. Okay. All right, we'll take a look at that. That looks interesting. We'll have to get back to that. Does she have a court date yet? Not yet. Not yet. God willing, from your lips to God's ears. Hopefully. Yes, Potatoes After Dark saying, so it is then. Yes. Something's up. Kia Patrick says it's not a new development, just old stuff is coming up. Okay. Okay. That works. Excited to say check X. Okay, let me see. What's on X? It's Twitter. It's not X, goddammit. We dead name here. Okay, so I'm looking. I don't see your I'm checking X. I don't see nothing. Don't see nothing. I don't see nothing. People in that county hate her. She would never win the election. I'm betting that's what I mean. You know, I guarantee you people fucking hate her guts. Yes, he's the record for tallest attorney. Did she book a flight for Vietnam? It's probably a good thing she gets the fuck out of there. Kitchen Knife Rescue's been a member for 3 months, says the Hat Man cometh yet again. Really? Really? He's gonna be coming? The hell is this? Oh, no, I'm not going to show that. I'm not showing that. Hell, jeez. That's funny, though. So maybe the lawyer is looking for more work by implying that there is nothing to go on. Yeah, maybe. Maybe he's just milking her for hours. Oh, yes. Don't come. Don't come. Show it. I don't think it's... No, I don't want to show it because I don't know if it's 100% kosher, so there. That's why. And what the... People are blowing me up everywhere. All right, guys. So, yeah, happy trails to Becky. Did I see what Judge Gold did today? No, I didn't. What did she do today? I'm assuming she denied all kinds of shit like she always does and fucked over Richard Allen's case more than it already is fucked up. Jerk says, don't do it. Oh, I'm not going to do it. At least post it in locals. I will when it's our turn. When we're all there together. She talked to the press. Really? That stupid hoe opened her fucking mouth. And yes, Francis Gull, I hope you hear this. You dumb fuck of a judge. I hope you hear that. Mr. Medicare's stream will be apparently 8 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. Yes. Apparently he's getting his stamina back, chat. He's surviving. Buy a hat for your hat. Support a hat-funded economy, chat. Sadly, though, Jim does not have hats that fit like 8 1/4-inch heads like mine. I just be thinking, wow, big head. Well, you know what they say about that? It's like, yeah, you know what they say about people with big heads? Your mom must have been fucking Wonder Woman. Or you were a C-section. Yes, resurrected just in time for Easter. Yes. Yes. All right, guys, we are going to keep going here. We are going to keep going. Oh, we got time here. A lot of people here. 360 people on YouTube, 4 over at Twitch, and 97 on Twitter. Really? There's 97 people? 97 people. Okay. Well, let's get to the things. Let's get to the things we have listed. SBF. Sam Bankman-Fried. Our boy. Our darling baby boy. Our little dorky Jewish theater child had his sentencing today in federal court. And surprise, he did not fucking die. Amazingly, he did not get killed in jail. He spent all that time in the Metropolitan Correction Center in federal custody and didn't die. Good job, Sam. I don't know how you managed not to hang yourself or get raped to death by some, Aryan Nation dudes out on the rec yard, but you did a good job of staying alive. I don't know who he's clicked up with now, but I'm going to laugh if he's, part of the Vice Lords or Gangster Disciples or something like that. Or, Sam Bankman, SBF becomes a member of, the Latin Kings, and he's like, you just see him going up there, and he's like, black and gold never fold. Amor de rey. I could see him doing that. That'd be great. Oh, gosh. But yes, so he was sentenced today. He got 25 years in prison. Better than what I thought was going to happen to him. I thought he was going to get 40 years out of that. But hey, 25 years is, that's a pretty stiff sentence. So he was found guilty of stealing more than $8 billion from customers. Judge Kaplan, Lewis Kaplan, and guys, yeah, we see him a lot in this situation. Isn't it interesting? We kind of see that a lot of times. This guy's name's popping up. You know, they point out that the judge said he was, he presented himself as a good guy, as the trad guy, as the appropriate regulation in the crypto industry. But it was just an act. It's like we've seen that ourselves in our own lives. He did it because he wanted to be a hugely politically influential person in this country. I mean, yeah, no shit. Like, who doesn't want to be? Who doesn't want to fucking be that? Like, you know, the judge is like, oh, he did it because he wanted. It's like, yeah, no shit, he did. Like, you seem surprised, Judge. Like, why would you be surprised? Like, why would you be surprised? You know, the judge then blasted the falling mogul as having apparently any lack of real remorse. SBF was also ordered to pay back more than $11 billion to FTX users and investors, but it was unclear how much of that sum he'd be able to pay. I'm assuming none, especially while he's in prison. So he was only 1/4 of the 110-year max he was facing. The prosecutors were hoping for 40 or 50, and he actually was asking for a 6-year sentence. So, I mean, you know, oh well. So he was wearing his tan jumpsuit with his messy hair, which had been tightly cropped during the trial, had grown back out, so he had his big old Jew fro. It was like, whoa, 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 whoa. I wonder if Joe had one of those growing up. He had a big old fro. He admitted that he had let down everybody that I care about and everything that I care about. You know, I'm so sorry. I lost all the monies. Womp womp. Ooh woo. But he continued to blame FTX's implosion on a series of bad decisions rather than what the feds call a brazen crime of stealing fucking money. Because that's what he did. The judge said he was unconvinced by his attempt at an apology. You know, he knew it was wrong. He knew it was criminal. Yeah. There's no way you can't say, I'm too retarded. I'm too much of a spurg to know my Asperger's didn't make me realize it was a crime. I couldn't pick up on the social cues that it was a crime. So, yes, he regrets that he made a very bad decision about the likelihood of being caught. Yes. So, you know, he says there's a risk this man will be in a position to do something very bad in the future, and it's not a trivial risk. I'm not sure, because who's going to fucking hire him in the future? You know, who's, like, when he comes out, everybody's going to be like, oh, you're such a guru, come work for us. Like, that's not how this works. What's he going to do where he's going to be in charge of something? I mean, yes, maybe the population is dumb enough where we forget, aren't you the guy who fucking stole all the money? Yeah, no. Oh, okay, well, here, work for us, manage our money. But the judge does say that right now his name is pretty much mud around the world. But the one thing is, he is persistent. And one of the things, he's a great marketing guy. So the judge just admitted, you know, he's a hustler, baby. You know, he just wants you to know, it ain't about where SBF has been, but where he's about to go. So yeah, he thinks that he'll be hitting the ground running. I don't think so. I think in the next 25 years, SBF is going to get, his shit's going to get settled. So the amount of money he took, somebody's going to come a knocking. And they will make sure it happens. So, and there is wonderful parents, you know, the Glowies themselves, because, you know, obviously they're involved in this, but they, how are they not involved? Because they're probably Glowies. So, SBF did not show noticeable emotion when the sentence was read or when federal marshals led him from the courtroom. But after hearing his fate, his mom burst into tears and placed her hands over her face. Yeah, that's true. SBF also said his actions weren't selfish. Yeah, they kind of were. And he said his useful life was over. Well, it depends. Because those guys in jail are going to find a lot of use for you, Sam. So your useful life is not over, just the life you knew. Oh boy. Uh-oh. I felt everyone that I care about and everything that I care about. He said, standing with his head bowed and occasionally glancing at the judge. Yeah. You know, I let a lot of people. Oh my gosh, this is so damn funny. I let a lot of people feel really wet down, and they were white. They were very wet down. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about what happened at every stage. Near the end, his right knee began twitching uncontrollably. My useful life is probably over, he added. Oy vey! Oy vey, chat! It's been over for a while now from before my arrest. Yeah. Yep. So they are... So he was sentenced, and he's going to get sent to his nearest family's home in Northern California. The judge is putting him in a medium security thing, or if he can get to a low security one. That's because he's not a security threat. So that's why he'll probably get some pretty good situations. He'll probably be at a lower level place, and it won't be too bad. It's still going to be prison, but it'll be better than any other prison you've been in. You know, if you're out there and you've been to prison, it's probably better than the ones you've been to. Or for SBF, it's going to be a lot better than the MCC. So once inside, he may be able to shave time off his sentence, perhaps as high as 40 to 50% with good behavior. Well, it depends. And this means he can serve as little as 12 and a half years. So it all depends on what they're doing. So if he got, you know, his sentence is not a lot compared to Bernie Madoff. You guys remember Bernie Madoff did a Ponzi scheme too, and he got hit with a 150-year sentence after pleading guilty, and he died in custody. So, yeah, look at them. They just look like beautiful people. And then, yes, this is a picture of SBF as he's hanging out in jail. I mean, look at him. He's just like, yeah, hi, I'm here. They trade me around for cigarettes. Ha 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 ha. I get traded. 15 minutes with me is worth a whole bag of coffee. So he's done. He's done. Oh, I don't think there's a whole lot that could be happened here. But yes, his mom spoke and said his failure to read social cues will put him in extreme danger in prison. His mother warned, like, oh well. But guys, we know all about that, not being able to read social cues. It could cause all kinds of consternation and problems for you if you're dealing with friends out there in the world. So be careful. Be careful. Moving on to more New York-related stuff here. Daniel Penny, the guy who choked out the crazy schizo dude on the train, is going to trial in October. So his trial got set for October 8th. Supposedly going to take about 4 weeks. I don't know if it's going to be televised, but we'll find out. So that is the update for him. Seriously, though, this homie needs to get rid of the perm. Like, dude's got good hair. Dude's got good hair. This dude's got good hair. This dude in the back looks like he's getting ready to invade Poland. But anybody there has got better hair than this. Like, I mean, what the fuck is this? What is this permed stuff? Something that drives me crazy every time I see him. He's got that permed hair. And then this is Jordan Neely laying on the ground. Yes, he was a Michael Jackson impersonator. When he wasn't screaming and shitting in the subways and acting like he was going to fucking hurt people. Yeah, I'm sure he was a nice guy. I'm sure he was a nice guy. So, he's out on a $100,000 bond. He faced up to 19 years if convicted of killing Jordan Neely. You know, they point out he didn't have a knife, he didn't have a gun. Okay, he sounded like he did. Everybody on that train car was scared. He was hungry. He goes, oh, chat. He come on the train car. Hey, all yous. I am so hungry, woo. Please give Gibbs food. Gibbs food. Well, that's not how it works. You know. In his desperation, he was emotional, but distress is not equal dangerous. That's correct, but in the right situation, acting like a desperate man does count as being very dangerous. You know, especially in our world now where we know what crazy people can do and do very frequently. So he has a court date scheduled for September 17th, though Penny does, to determine if the videotape statements he made to cops can be used as evidence. So we'll find out what happens from there. But yes, October 8th is when everything starts. So that will be interesting to see what happens there. Vels Morton sent a $10 tip over in locals saying, sup, big boy, just hollering out, long time no see, getting my ranty beer in, coitus upon the IRS, and all those next Tuesdays who count marbles during tax season. How have they been? Pretty good, and we'll talk about the rest of this later, but yeah, thank you. Oh, by the way, he is over in, oh gosh, which one of is it? Slovakia or Slovenia, I think, somewhere over there. And they just counted their presidential round 1 votes, 100% voting in under 3 hours. How long for yours do you reckon? Nothing but love for Carpathia. Yeah. So, yes, out in the world, they can do voting and count all their votes all at once. So, let's see, what elections are in Europe today? So, list of elections in 2024. There we go. Europe. Okay, so it is the you just finished up the 28th. Oh, Slovakia just finished their first round. Okay. So, yeah, congratulations. Yes, real countries can do it. Apparently, we can't, though, here. So, we'll try and chat. We're trying real hard. Yeah, they don't do 3M dumps in a lot of countries. No. No, they tend to, you know, kill people over that. So, yes, he's just a hungry Aladdin trying to feed his family. Yes, he was reenacting the Thriller album cover. Yes. Now he's a zombie. Ah! It just didn't work right, timing-wise. That's Penny's natural hair. My son has hair like that, and he cuts his tight. I would go crazy if I had hair like that. That's why I got this hair. And it's just beautiful hair, and I can go, oh, there we go. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful hair. Oh, Jesus, that looks fucking awful. God damn. Not urban enough, Sean. Yes. I blame the trains for him unbreathing. Yes. His hair is gay. Yeah. Flip it back. I was one of those emo kids. I was not an emo kid. I'm trying out for a shampoo commercial. Hey, if Head Shoulders wants to sponsor me, this show's sponsored by, so be it. You know, whoever. My luscious locks, yes. I hope Penny's charges get dropped. They're not going to get dropped. He's going to have to go to trial, and he's going to have to win. And like I said this before, the entire net jury pool is going to be people from all over New York, probably. And you know how many of those people have probably ridden the subway and had to deal with the fucking crazies down there, or worried one of those crazies is going to shove them into a fucking path of a subway and down onto the tracks, or they've been in a car with one of them shitting all over the place or wielding weapons or being dangerous and they couldn't go anywhere? All of them. They are going to vote not guilty on him. He's going to be good to go. Kimbo says, Dan Schneider wants an apology from you. He said the jokes are inappropriate. Now, then cut them out of the show. Hold on. You know what? Those guys at Nickelodeon were pedos, and it's crazy as shit what they did to people. I mean, look what they did to Amanda Bynes. And even Kenan Thompson saying all kinds of shit went down. So, like Mark Robinson says.
Got they licking their pencils right now, trying to write fierce as they can. Get every word of this here. Get every word of this.
A lot of sketchy shit went down. So, it's a 5-minute acquittal. I hope so. That would be hilarious. And his family goes, but he was just hungry. His tummy was wumbling. He just had the tummy rumbles. He just needed a scrap of food. How many of them would be far left activists like Kim Potter's jury? I don't know, but you're going to find enough regular people who hate dealing with the fucking psychopaths in the subway system, because that's what it's turned into. Big Happy says that speech is amazing. Which one? Oh, that guy's speech, yes. That is Mark Robertson, the future governor of North Carolina. So, I don't have much faith in New York City. Well, the people in New York City, they hate their fucking homeless people. Especially the ones terrorizing the subways. Yes, he was homeless. Yes, he was 100% homeless. And so unstable, his family couldn't care for him. So he's roaming the subways. Carrie says, chat says you use Pantene shampoo and conditioner combo. What say you? No, I don't use conditioner. I just use shampoo. That's all I do. I don't use conditioner and make my hair silky and strong. So, sorry to tell you that. John Coleman for $5 saying, "Evening, Sean. Thank you for not covering any crazy Florida residents, and I need advice. Is shucking supposed to make my cornhole hurt?" I mean, maybe. And then Unhung Hero for $2 says, "Oh, I'm gonna come." Well, don't come. You're a little late on the coming, though. Okay, guys, that is there. And then we're moving on another. We got a couple. Wow, we're going to have to blow through some of these pretty quick here. All right. This is something I know that Legal Mindset, Andrew, has been talking about. But the Disney Corporation, has agreed to settle its lawsuit with Florida. And Disney bent the knee. Yes. So Disney is ending its, in response to the Don't Say Gay bill, which that's not what it means. And they went after the state of Florida and Ron DeSantis. Well, the Florida legislator fucked right back, and Disney thought they were bigger than the government. And the government said, check this shit out. And the government took away Florida's special permissions it had. The Reedy Creek Improvement District that Florida operated was a massive hive of corruption. They basically were given a blank check and could operate as their own little government. And they were free for pretty much any oversight and overview from the state government, unlike every other improvement district. So like Universal Studios is part of an improvement district, all those things. But Disney had its own little world set up for themselves because they bribed and corrupted their way to getting it. Disney even had the ability, I think Andrew even mentioned this, Disney could have built a fucking nuclear power plant if they wanted to. And Florida couldn't stop them. Well, Florida went ahead and revoked all of that and just made Disney a special tourism district. And took away all those rights and all the power they once had and made them a normal one like everybody else. Well, Disney threw a shit fit and went to court. So Disney agreed to end its litigation over the special tourism district the entertainment giant effectively controlled for more than 5 decades until last year. So the lawsuit was originally filed in Orange County by the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District to void the agreements the old district board had signed with Disney right before it was dissolved at DeSantis' behest. Basically, Disney was protecting itself in how they did it. Disney, in turn, asked the agreements that they signed, which would benefit them, were valid. As part of the settlement, Disney agrees not to challenge the determination the prior agreements with the old Reedy Creek Improvement District were null and void, meaning the ones that are in place, this neuters Disney severely. It loses all the power it had. So this is a massive loss for them. All that they had, they just lost it. They pissed it away over Don't Say Gay, over some cringe teachers reading fucking smut to children about, like, little kids fucking each other. Disney gave it all the way for that. You know, bravo, Bob Iger and the gang. You know, bravo, boys, bravo. Rack of them fucking dubs. Oh, hold on here. I think we have a guest. Hey, Bubba, you want to come on screen? Come on. Hi. Aw. Yes. Well, hello. You were done sleeping? Are you done sleeping? Are you done snoozing? You want to say anything to chat? Like, are you tired still, buddy? Huh? Mwah. Mwah. All right. Yes, the Disney Blue Hairs led the mouse into a mousetrap. They did. It was a firing squad. And Disney got savaged. So, buddy, I'm going to put you down. So, maybe you'll come back up later when we're on locals. Oh, he's just like, I want to go to sleep. Don't drop me. So, the settlement also includes Disney's agreement to seek permission from a federal appeals court to pause its efforts to relieve a dismissed retaliation lawsuit against DeSantis in Florida, among other matters of a development agreement. They suggest that Disney's satisfied they might drop the federal civil rights complaint against the Republican governor. It doesn't matter if Disney's thrilled, they're going to have to accept the terms given to them. Disney has bent the knee and they've surrendered. So, this is not good for them. This is not good for them. And we go back to January, a federal judge dismissed Disney's lawsuit against the governor because the Disney lacked legal standing to sue DeSantis on his claim. You know, because they had the right to change that district. So Disney got kind of boned. Disney agreed to seek, and the district will not oppose, permission from the court to defer from being Disney's pending federal appeal, pending negotiations in the matters of a new development agreement between Disney and the district. So Disney did not win here. Disney is fucking making all kinds of things. They lost. They lost. And yeah, Legal Mindset called it correctly. Run, Clyde. Run while you can. It's actually been really quiet. We haven't heard, 2.0 yelling at Clyde, so that's pretty good. It's been surprisingly quiet. So, Sewer Rat says next Florida needs to remove Disney's ability, remove to keep alligators out of the park. I don't know if they can. I don't know if you want alligators in the park. That's not safe. You're walking along and you're walking through Epcot, or you're walking through the Hall of Presidents, and there's an alligator just eating people. That's not. I don't think that's meant to be part of it. Yes, they tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. So, good job, Disney. Just oof, oof, oof. Kimbo says, wait a minute, since Disney is on its own land, does that mean the diddler can hide there without extradition? No, not like that. Not like that. No. Paxton is invisible now. Yeah. Yes, he is. But he's getting his stuff's getting dismissed too. So Paxton and DeSantis are both shitting in high cotton. They're both doing pretty good right now. So, yes, like the alligator that ate the old lady. Yes. Oh. Yes, Zero Fuck says, I imagine Goofy extraditing Diddy. Yuck. Here you go. Yuck. Yes. So that'll be interesting to see what happens there. Oh, where is... Okay, the Trump updates. So we covered this on Monday because it was breaking news as it happened on Monday night. If you guys remember, Trump, through Judge Engoron, had said he had to provide a $464 million bond to appeal the case. Well, Trump went ahead and got through the courts, and he got through to them. And on Monday, the courts in the appellate court he was dealing with actually made a ruling, and it was beneficial to him. And stated the 25th, and it's the case of the people of the state of New York versus Trump and everybody else involved. Why is this not? Oh, there we go. Okay. So they talk about all the appeals were done from this court, the judgment that was entered on February 16th, and then the thing from February 23rd. And then the defendants moved pursuant to the procedure rules to stay the enforcement of the aforesaid order and ensuing judgment. So the court, upon reading that, changed things up, and they said it is granted to the extent of staying enforcement, ordering the disgorgement of the attorney general of $464 million is conditioned upon Trump posting within 10 days of the date of this order and undertaking the amount of $175 million. So they reduced it by, they reduced it quite a bit. From just shy of $470 million to $175 million. So about a $300 million drop. And part of the issue was no insurance company would insure him. That's a lot of fucking money. They were worried, well, let's say he becomes president. But there's also the issue of Trump's money is generally tied up in real estate. So he had a couple $1 million out there, but not that much money. And if he tried to sell his properties, well, that turns into a disaster. And it was very funny because this is from CNN, and they talk about Trump having to scrounge up money. So just listen to this. I mean, they are literally fucking with us at this point.
But the property that you alluded to, Mar-a-Lago, potentially that could be something that could be sold quickly. I think the valuation is something in the hundreds of millions, and I think there could be a buyer for something like that.
And that would be literally, if you're talking about doing that between now and Monday, that's picking up the...
So it's valued at hundreds of millions of dollars. What happened to Judge Engoron going, no, it's only worth $18 million. Apparently nobody else fucking agrees with you dumb cocksucker. So they're saying it's worth a couple $100 million. So it's almost like everybody is admitting, yeah, Trump didn't really do what they're claiming he did because it's worth that much.
The phone calling someone and then literally writing a check.
Yeah, I mean, there could be plenty of international people who want to buy that property. I mean, there's properties that are priced at 150 and 200 million that are nearby that. And Palm Beach is like the NVIDIA, of real estate. It's just shot up like a rocket. And people do want to live there. They've moved.
So even CNN saying the estimated property value is $240 million. Using the source Bloomberg. It's fucking hilarious in the chat. They're literally just fucking with us. They're literally just fucking with us. Literally just fucking with us. Yes, no jury, no damages. Yeah. She doesn't know about NVIDIA. Shut up, woman. Yes. Yes, CNN has zero credibility. Yes, but that's oh yeah, it's only worth $18 million apparently, but everybody else says it's worth a lot more. So yeah. Well, guys, remember, talk about Trump paying his share of the bills. We covered this. This is only like a couple hours worth of like money for the state of New York, ultimately. It's not very much at all. Somebody sat there and actually it all out, and it's only maybe a day's worth for the state. Not even a full day's worth of money. Kia Patrick saying, not that I expect honesty from the system, but isn't there something illegal about a court calling someone a victim and awarding themselves the holdings? Well, the court's not awarding the victim's getting the holdings. The victim's getting the money. The state of New York's getting that money. Now, yes, the banks, you know, those poor banks, they're not getting the money. Nobody's getting the money but Letitia James. Yes, his valuation wasn't even a crime. Yep. Remember though, this wasn't a criminal case. It was a civil action, so that way they can say it's not a crime. So that is that. Now, since that happened, Letitia James, you know, the bravest of the black women, you know, said he's still facing accountability for his staggering fraud. Is he really? Is he really? Is he really? So, we'll see. We'll see. The funny thing is they think Trump owns his assets free and clear with no debt. Yeah, that's the funny part. The government is not going to be able to override if there's any of those places have mortgages. The government doesn't get to just jump in the front of the line. They don't get to cut through everybody. That's not how that works. So, yes, Hubbleson said he's allowed to value his property wherever he wants when applying for a loan. There's zero fraud in that. Well, not according to the government. Now, moving on to another Trump-related issue here. It's John Eastman. John Eastman is looking like he's going to get disbarred out in California. If you guys don't realize, John Eastman was one of the attorneys involved with Trump, helping him do his thing as part of the election. So, he had it was like on and off, they had multiple sessions out in California because that's where Eastman is licensed as an attorney. And the judge in his hearing, the judge who presided over it, released this is part of the state bar court. This is a weird thing they do out there. This isn't how it's done in other states, but California does it the way they want. So in the matter of John Charles Eastman. So this was a disciplinary council proceeding. The Office of Chief Trial Counsel of the State Bar of California charged Eastman with 11 counts of misconduct arising from the 2020 election. So they point out that the burden was by clear and convincing evidence. Now, this is the very interesting part here. You're going to see this all over. They talk about, you'll see this in all the head notes. The court precluded Eastman from offering testimony whether they're entering uncharted territory and charging him with ethical violations under these facts, and whether his statements are constitutionally protected, or if he may be disciplined for such statements. He was precluded from talking about that. Eastman was also precluded from offering expert testimony to show that the 2020 election based on professional standards of certified audits. Nope, can't talk about that. Eastman was permitted to offer some testimony of Stanley Young. We don't know who that is. But he was precluded from offering testimony regarding his findings about voter registration anomalies. He was precluded from offering testimony regarding whether it would be frivolous to assert that Pence had the authority to unilaterally adjourn the joint session of Congress. You know, all these things like, I have defenses to this. Well, you're not going to be allowed to present them, John. And then finally, number 8, he was precluded from offering the testimony of multiple people who were permitted to testify as witnesses, excluding their expert testimony. That said, though, the State Bar of California was not precluded from offering evidence that Eastman conspired to create alternative slates of electors to those certified in the 2020 presidential election. So you can see where this is going. Nope, denied, denied, denied. Oh yeah, prosecutor, you can do what you want. And they went through all of it. And yes, they talked about Eastman was admitted to practice law in California back in December of 1997. He's been a licensed attorney at all times since then in California. So he's been around for a while, guys. And we get through it all. We get to the very end, and the judge makes her conclusions here. That he's got to pay they wanted to pay a $10,000 monetary sanction. The recommendations are that he be disbarred from the practice of law and his name be stricken from the roll of attorneys. So, now some of you might be thinking, well, if they're disbarring him, how can they go after him for the money? Well, they can seek that out as a judgment and go after him and execute the judgment. So that's how they do that. But that is their ultimate issue they want to punish him for. So yes, they're ordering him be transferred to involuntary inactive status, which means you're involuntarily you're forced to be inactive. His enrollment will be effective 3 calendar days after this order is served, and will terminate on an effective date of the Supreme Court's order imposing discipline herein, or as provided by the rules, or any other action by the Supreme Court, which may change it. By the Yvette D. Rowland, brave judge of the State Bar Court. Yes, I'm sure she's an honorable jurist. So, yeah, this is lawfare, guys. This is the front end of this stuff. This is the front end of it. It's nasty. It's nasty. Suspended until we say so. That's pretty much how disbarments work. Sometimes they're done forever, but a lot of times there's indefinite suspensions, and it's up to the court to decide whether you come back. So, who lost the law license? Yes, John Eastman did. He clerked for Clarence Thomas. Yes, he did. Yes. Yep. And I think he's, John Eastman has a very good career. So, yeah, he is, he went to the University of Chicago for his, JD, which is a very good law school. He went to the University of Dallas. I don't really know anything about that, but yes, he did clerk for Clarence Thomas back in the day. So based, he's one of Uncle Clarence's boys. So yes, this is the man who got attacked and harassed for what he did. But it's such bullshit. It's such bullshit. He also clerked for this guy, Michael Luttig. This guy is that Republican judge. He's like, Trump's a bad man. Trump is a dangerous threat. And the people at CNN jerk him off all the time. So it's interesting that he did this. But this is actually the track you go through when you're trying to become a Supreme Court clerk. You end up clerking for like a district court judge maybe. Or if you could skip ahead to a clerk or judge on the Court of Appeals. So he was a clerk in the Fourth Circuit. And yes, Michael Luttig denounced Eastman for assisting Trump's efforts to remain in power. Eastman then clerked for Clarence Thomas, and then he was an attorney at the law firm of Kirkland and Ellis, which he made buku fucking dollars doing, because once you're a clerk, when you're out, you get hundreds of thousands of dollars for the prestige of having you on the, firms fight for the prestige of having a clerk, but they also think that gives you the inside edge on like, how do we get to that justice? What are they thinking? So there are those options there. So yeah, that's kind of shitty. That's kind of shitty what's going on there, but it's what's going on. Sadly, that's what's going on. Wish I could say it wasn't happening, shot, but it is. And then lastly for Trump, this is the Jussie Smollett case was accepted by the Illinois Supreme Court. Of course it would. Of course it would. Whether or not they're going to do anything with it is the issue. I don't think they're going to. Kevin says, damn it, missed alive again. We're still going, dude. You haven't started, you haven't missed nothing. We haven't ended yet. The one thing I did want to bring up as far as, Vel sent another $5 tip over on Locals saying, not being a jurisprudence pro, but magic reveal, having all your votes counted within hours, might residing, you're gonna say some crazy stuff here. Where he lives, you have to show up with your ID when you vote. No, their documents are admitted. And living in the country for 8 years before you get the magic voting ID card. Yeah, that stuff might help. That stuff might help. So that's a really good idea. Really smart guy. And you guys, Ghostery and Mofolk, you guys are hanging out over in Locals. Saying having a PhD in ass polls, yes. Larry Legend said, does Ohio still deny purchases with a marijuana conviction? No. So and there haven't been people that I'm aware of who are just regular, people using marijuana who have been charged with having a weapon or disability because they haven't been declared chronically dependent on drugs. It's usually that's not an issue I'm aware of. So you're fine. And then over in Kick, Winter Soldier and Duke of Boom are just using up. Looks like the rat, or is that a possum? I don't know. And then Pewis Hair Plugs Hamilton. funny over there in Kick. So, guys, the last thing I wanted to bring up is the gag order that Trump had filed against him in his soon-to-start trial over in New York. And this is from Judge Juan Mercan. And he goes, ay, oh, Dios míos. Oh, no, el orange mano, he is being El Mino to me. El me. So it's a People's State of New York versus Trump. This is from the judge. It's the decision and order, the people's motion for an order restricting extrajudicial statements. So a gag order. The defendant's charged with 34 counts of falsifying business records. So basically, and he actually does a good job of figuring out what happens. He boils it down very well. Specifically, the people claim, I was going to skip ahead, but we'll do this just so you guys understand what this trial's about, that the defendant directed an attorney, Michael Cohen, who worked for his company, to pay $130,000 to adult film Stormy Daniels shortly before the election to prevent her from publicizing an alleged sexual encounter with Trump. It's further alleged the defendant thereafter reimbursed the attorney for the payments to a series of checks and caused business records associated with the repayments to be falsified to conceal his criminal conduct. Well, see, I think that's actually not a proper statement because had Trump not falsified the records, this would not have, none of his other conduct was criminal. Paying off a fucking whore is not wrong. And Stormy Daniels is a whore at the end of the day. So the people, and that's the prosecutors, because it's the people of the state of New York, are seeking order restricting extrajudicial statements by the defendant for the duration of the trial. Now, this is the shitty part here. The restrictions sought are consistent in part with those upheld in the U.S. Court of Appeals for D.C. in his case pending in front of Judge Chuck Cudden out in Washington, D.C. So that is bullshit because those got thumped pretty good. And even then, I still think they're highly illegal. And they are prior restraints. But the judge goes on to give this discussion. The freedom of speech guaranteed by the First Amendment and the state's interest in the fair administration of justice are implicated by the relief sought. The state's not entitled. They don't have an interest in the fair administration of justice. Only the defendant does. He's the only one entitled to a fair trial. The state's not entitled to a fair shake. They're the state. So the test requires the court to make its own inquiry into the imminence and magnitude of the danger said to flow from the particular utterance, and then balance the character of the evil, as well as the likelihood against the need for free and unfettered expression. The court has an obligation to prevent outside influences, including outside speech, from disturbing the integrity of the trial. So the court has reviewed prior statements of Trump. Notably, the defendant does not deny the utterance of any of the extrajudicial statements or the reported effect they had on the targeted parties. Rather, he argues, as the presumptive Republican nominee and leading candidate in the 2024 election, he must have unfettered access to the voting public to respond to attacks from political opponents and to criticize public figures. Yeah, that's kind of how it works when you're running for political office. You should be able to do all that. Yet these extrajudicial statements went far beyond defending himself against attacks. Indeed, his statements were threatening, inflammatory, denigrating, and the targets of his statements range from federal officials and court staff, prosecutors, and staff assigned to the cases, and private individuals, including grand jurors, performing their civic duty. Oh no! He's allowed to say they're fucking idiots. He's allowed to say if you're on the grand jury and you indict him, you're a fucking asshole. He's allowed to say that. The consequences of those statements included not only fear on the part of the individuals targeted, but also the assignment of increased security resources to investigate threats and to protect the individual family members thereof. Oh, well. You know, you don't want people like, if you really think you guys did the right thing on the grand jury, then fucking eat a dick up, man. Like, oh, these people want to kill me. Well, you should be proud you did the right thing. Unless you don't think you did the right thing. So, something to ponder. So the defendant contends the compliance with the existing orders is an effective, less restrictive alternative. He supports this notion that he's generally refrained from making statements about individuals associated with this case, and a marked contrast from the volume of social media posts targeting individuals involved in every other court proceeding reflected in the people's submission. That's a pretty big fucking thing. He's like, look, Judge, I'm doing something different. The court's unpersuaded. Well, fuck you. He's like, what more do you want him to do? He's leaving your case alone. That's not good enough. He's the orange man. He's bad. My name is Juan. So I'm going to be mean to him because he called my cousins rapists and murderers, which they are. Although this court did not issue an order restricting his speech at the inception, choosing instead to issue an admonition, giving the nature and impact of the statements made against this court and a family member thereof. Yes, Trump said shit about one of his children. You know, you're like, well, why are you still making comments then? Why? You're going to, you're bringing that up. Now you're a party to this, Judge. You shouldn't be doing this, Holmes. The district attorney and his assistant, that's fine. The witnesses in this case, well, one of the witnesses is former counsel. Michael Cohen is a fucking piece of shit. He has every right to do that. as well as the nature and impact of the statements made by the defendant in his D.C. case, which, and given on the eve of trial is upon us, without question, the imminency of the risk is now paramount. You fucking pussy faggot. To quote a wise man, you are a pussy faggot, Judge Merchant. Ashley Merchant's the only one entitled to that name, not you, pussy faggot. The court has the obligation to prevent actual harm to the integrity of proceedings. When the fairness of trial is threatened, reversals are but palliatives that cure lies and remedial measures that will prevent the prejudice at its inception. The state doesn't get to have a reversal if Trump is acquitted. These are meant to protect if Trump was getting unjustly dealing with it. So it doesn't matter. Trump is out there stirring it up. He's tilting the field in his favor. He's allowed to do that. So, in keeping with this mandate, the court need not wait for the realization of further prescribed speech targeted at participants of this trial. Too fucking bad. And they talk about the speech at the individual prosecutors do not substantiate their claims. And the people only cite posts which occurred in March and June. Within hours of the court appearance, though, setting the trial for April 15th, Trump targeted an individual prosecutor as a radical left from the DOJ put in the district attorney's office to run the trial against Trump. That was done by Biden and his thugs. Oh, it's so scary. Oh, so scared. So scared. Oh, no, chat. The orange man is so bad. He's so bad, chat. He's so bad. I am constructing showers in chat until banned. Yes, well. Oh, well. So. Lover of Green for $10. Thank you for the super chat is saying, last year Congress enacted the Coup is Over Act to end the Fauci nonsense. Is there any chance the Biden administration legally reverses course? With Trump in the lead, the DNC will get desperate. Oh yeah, we're going to see all kinds of crazy shit happen this summer and fall. It's stuff we probably haven't even fathomed yet. They got a lot of tricks up their sleeve. Don't worry. They are going to get very desperate. They are going to act very heavy-handedly and very reactionary. So it's going... they're going to come. They are definitely going to come. I promise you, they are going to come. And they are going to come all over our faces. So the people propose an additional restriction with respect to prospective and sworn jurors. Actually, that's why. Hold on. There we go. The restrictions are thought, while the D.C. Circuit decision only addressed the risk of influencing witnesses and harassing participants, it nevertheless opined that one of the most powerful interests supporting broad prohibitions on trial participant speech is avoid contamination of the jury pool to protect the impartiality of the jury once selected, to confine the evidentiary record before the jury to the courtroom, and to prevent intrusion of the jury's deliberations. Remember, the impartiality of the jury is entitled to only one side. The defendant's the only one entitled to an impartial jury, a fair jury. The state's not. While the order related to only jury anonymity prevents the dissemination of certain information, it's not sufficient to prevent speech from targeting the jurors and exposing them to an atmosphere of intimidation. How, if nobody knows who they are, how can they be intimidated? Think about that, Judge. How does that work? The proposed restrictions are too narrowly tailored. The uncontested record shows a sufficient risk to the administration of justice consistent with the standards set forward in Landmark, and there's no less restrictive means to prevent that risk. So therefore, it is hereby ordered the people's motion for restriction is granted. You fucking cocksucker. The defendants were directed to refrain from the following: making and directing statements known or reasonably foreseeable to witnesses concerning their potential participation in the investigation or the criminal proceeding. making or directing others to make public statements about counsel in the case other than the district attorney, members of the court staff and the district attorney staff, or 3, the family members of any counsel or staff member. If those statements are made with the intent to materially interfere with or cause others to materially interfere with counsel, staff, or work in this criminal case, or the knowledge such interference is likely to result. And then making or directing others to make public statements about any prospective juror or any juror in this criminal proceeding. Yes, and he comes in here, leave my daughter alone! Ah! So the foregoings in order of the court, dated March 26th. Juan Merchan, Judge of the Court of Claims, acting Justice of the Supreme Court. Yeah, I'm Judge Merkin. Wow. Well, fuck this guy, and fuck his order. Got no time for that shit. Yes, individually we are like a single twig, but as a bundle we form a mighty faggot. So, PRI. Fuck, stop. Well, you guys aren't even, like, you guys are typing out a big thing and I can't keep up with it. Are you trying to spell cock? I don't know. How long until I notice? I'm noticing, but I don't know what you guys are spelling. You just want to build a tower, that's fine, guys. Also, Glover Green, I hope that answers your question. I mean, there's going to be a lot of buffalo jumps this summer. A lot of buffalo jumping. So, guys, that is it. We are all caught up. 2 hours and 17 minutes. That's a pretty good job, if I do say so myself. So, we are all wrapped up for tonight. Tomorrow, I've got to be out and about. So, I will be back in the afternoon. I might be making an appearance somewhere. Keep your eyes peeled. It'll be a little interesting. And then tomorrow night, we are going to... Well, we're going to get into what Russell Greer's filed in the cases out in Utah and Florida. We're also going to look at Acer Thorne's lawsuit, and I'll see if I can... we'll break down the videos and all the things he's freaking out about and whether or not they're fair use, and I'll engage in some fair use. So let's see what happens. Let's see if I get sued. But that's what we'll do. And then on Saturday, we are starting George Kelly. He's the rancher out in Arizona who's accused of murdering a Mexican crossing the border illegally. Saturday night, we are probably going to do, after Jim's show's over, we'll look at what's going on out in Delphi. Sunday, we are going to do some more George Kelly. I don't know what we're doing Sunday night. And then Monday, we're back to the live show. It looks like locals might actually be fixed now, guys. So, looks like locals chat works. We'll try it out tonight and see what happens. If not, we'll do the same thing again. We'll do a crossover. We'll do a crossover between locals and the YouTube members. And then I also got to figure out what I'm going to do for you YouTube members. I don't know if I can do something every week, but it might be every other week. But I want to give you guys some good stuff of your own to do and rely on. Other good news, yeah, Ferrari won. Ferrari won this past weekend out there, which was great, and they won in Australia. Hopefully they can win in Japan. Good news. Both Red Bulls crashed. So, that's it, guys. Until next time, always remember, just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. So, thank you to everybody out there, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Kick, Rumble, and YouTube. I will see you guys over on Locals shortly. So, take care, everybody. Good night.